American academic writing, it is important to write in a linear structure and follow the expectations for the reader and the writer. American academic writing tends to follow what we call a linear structure, where the writer is responsible for the clarity and cohesion of the writing. Relationships between ideas are explicitly stated. The reader should not have to work too hard to understand the ideas and the relationships between the ideas in the text. In this type of writing, there are clear thesis statements, clear topic sentences, transitions, and other cohesive devices to guide the reader from one idea to the next. In some cultures, more of a circular structure is followed. In these cultures, the reader is responsible for deducing the meaning of the text. And when the reader needs to work to understand the meaning of the writing, it reflects strong writing. There may not be explicitly stated topic sentences and paragraphs, and the thesis statement might appear for the first time in the conclusion of the text. If you come from a culture that writes in a more circular structure, it might be a challenge to make this shift. Remember, however, that this is what your American readers expect, and they will be confused if your writing does not follow this more linear structure. Let's take a look at an outline that illustrates this linear structure. In this example, there are a total of 5 paragraphs, though this does not mean that every assignment requires 5 paragraphs. There are sometimes more and sometimes less. Begin with an introduction that gives the reader background about the topic. The introduction is often organized from more general to more specific, leading to a clear thesis statement or controlling idea. It might be helpful to visualize this as an upside-down triangle, with the first sentence of the introduction being more general and being the widest part of the triangle, leading to a thesis statement being more focused and placed at the tip of the triangle. Paragraph 1 then begins with a topic sentence, written in your own words, clarifying the main point of the paragraph and relating back to the thesis statement. Each sentence in this paragraph must relate back to the main point of paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 begins with a topic sentence, written in your own words, clarifying the main point of the paragraph and relating back to the thesis statement. Each sentence in this paragraph relates back to the main point of paragraph 2. Paragraph 3 follows the same structure. Paragraph 3 begins with a topic sentence, written in your own words, clarifying the main point of the paragraph and relating back to the thesis statement. Each sentence in this paragraph relates back to the main point of paragraph 3. Finally, the conclusion summarizes the main points of the text. In this case, the main points of paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. No new information is introduced in the conclusion. When writing in a linear structure, it might also be helpful to think of an analogy of a sandwich. There is a piece of bread on top, that is the introduction. There is a piece of bread on the bottom, that is the conclusion. And in the middle are the meat and cheese and vegetables, all held together by 2 pieces of bread. I hope you are able to use these tips on writing in a linear structure to better follow the writing expectations at Walden and at other American universities.